Hey guys, in this session, we are going to talk about the difference between cardio and weight training, what the main things you need to cover, what is cardio, what are the benefits of cardio, how to measure it, what is strength training and the benefits of strength training, and aerobic versus anaerobic training. So cardio is physical conditioning that exercises the heart, lungs, and associated blood vessels. That is the dictionary definition. In other words, when you do cardio, you're giving your heart, lungs, and circulatory systems a good workout, in addition to some other muscles, like the muscles you're actually using in the exercise, but it's more about your cardio, your cardiovascular system. Cardio exercise is really important because it's kind of your engine. So without that strong engine, it doesn't matter how strong your muscles are, you're just going to go nowhere. So the more you can up your engine, the better you're going to move around day to day in the gym, etc. So what is exactly cardio training and how much you should do of it is what we're going to cover in the next few sessions. Sometimes we call this CV, cardio. Sometimes we write it, if we're writing it on the workout, we'll just write calories, just because that's a way of measuring it, but we mean cardio, getting your heart rate up. So that's what we mean by that. This is some ways of measuring the efficiency of your cardiovascular system. So you've got your resting heart rate, resting heart rate and your blood pressure. So the resting heart rate is that chart on the right. And you can see there, so if you've got a fitness tracker, it will tell you what your resting heart rate is. They're not always the most accurate things, but they'll give you probably a good average throughout the day. So you can work that out based on that. And also you can do your blood pressure. We've got blood pressure monitor here if you want to come and use one, or you can just order one online. They're really quite cheap and keep an eye on it that way. So your blood pressure is the number of times that your resting heart rate is the number of times your heart beats in 60 seconds. So with each beat, it's a single contraction of your heart and it pumps the blood around your body. And with the blood, obviously, comes nutrients and oxygen. So that's why it's important to have this cardiovascular system working effectively. The lower it is, usually the stronger it is. So that's kind of how it works. So the average heart rate is around 72 beats per minute. And as you start training, that will reduce significantly. And if you train it effectively, you can actually do heart rate training where you train in different zones, which is what I did for the Ironman triathlon, which is the picture behind me. And I actually trained to keep my heart rate low over a long period of time. And that meant that my heart rate average sometimes was, when I was sleeping, was as low as 35, which is really low if you look at that chart there. They're saying, when I'm out and about in day to day up and about, probably the average would be about 49, 55, but the sort of low during my sleep was 35, which is incredible. And it's not normally like that. Probably, if I was to look now, it probably wouldn't be like that. I've been not training for a few months like that. I can't actually look at it now, but anyway. And then your blood pressure as well. So there's two values. Usually it says one over the other. So it'll say 120 over 70. The upper figure is something called the systolic pressure, which is the pressure when your heart contracts or pumps blood out, while the lower figure is the diastolic pressure, which is the pressure when your heart's relaxed. Your blood pressure doesn't want to be any higher than 140 over 85, 90 really. And the lower that is, the better like your cardiovascular system is. That's 120 probably is a better aim for your blood pressure. Okay, so there's loads of stuff you can do to bring that down nutritionally. Basically, keep working on the big five, work on improving the quality of your food, exercise. There's all that basic stuff that we talk about all the time. And of course, sleep makes a massive difference. So all of these things. So that is, a big reason that we talk about the big five a lot, because it affects these things. And, there are measures and stats to show that if you have on average a higher heart rate or resting heart rate and higher blood pressure, you're going to die earlier, or you'll be more susceptible to injury and illness, which is what is all about, is bringing those things down so you don't get injured and don't get ill, and you can exercise over the long term and be a lot happier, and just less anxiety of something happening to you. Loads of different types of cardio. There's me doing a few things: running, cycling, jumping up and down. Basically, anything that supports your body weight over a long, sustained period of time is cardiovascular. Obviously, we got other machines in the gym, so people with injuries can come and do ski. We've got the vertical climber, we've got the rowing machines. So we always have an option for you if you have an injury. And one of the things that we like to encourage is, if you do have an injury, you still come in and you still focus on what you can do so that you don't drop your cardio training. Unfortunately, with cardio in particular, you will lose it a lot quicker than you'll gain it. So 2 months ago, I ran an Ironman. There's absolutely no way I'd be able to do that right now. And that's just 2 months ago. It's quite incredible. So, but likewise, you can build it quite quickly, but you've got to maintain it. And if you're building up to something like a long distance triathlon like that, you're not going to be able to maintain it over that long term, but there's a base level of cardio that we should be able to do. So how much cardio should we do? We should be doing at least, this is very, very bare minimum. The reason we want to see you 3 times a week is so that we get that sort of minimum cardio exercise in. Continuous 20 to 30 minutes CV 2-3 times a week. It's easily achievable. You can go for walks, add in little things like that, and that will just maximize the fitness, the benefits you're getting from fitness. And if it seems a lot to you, well, if you start thinking, like, statistics show that 17% of journeys are less than 1 mile, you could walk that. If you're going to the shops, if you're dropping off the kids at school, things like that, all of those things are going to be keeping your heart and lungs in good shape, and it should be a priority for your exercise, and that's why we include it in our routines. In addition, there's so many benefits of regular cardio exercise. You do get endorphins. I know some people say they don't, but you will. You might just not notice it, but you notice it if you don't do it. You just probably don't notice it when you do it. As you start noticing it, you will realize you do get these endorphins afterwards, which give you, the high. Mentally, it's quite good. That sort of long distance endurance stuff can act as a kind of meditation almost. And like I said, if you've got injuries, there's always things you can do. There's swimming if you really need to. We don't have a pool, but you can swim if you need to as well. Okay, next session, we're going to talk a bit about weight training and what is the difference. Okay, so if you've got any questions on that, then please share them, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.